DC and I went to Nashville for a few days over our break last week, and both ended up. We've literally turned into Thelma and Velma O'Reilly. We spent the better part of our trip to Nashville trying to find a good laxative.
Oh, bless your heart.
That's no lie. Because for whatever reason, I guess DC and I have been together and worked together for so long. It's like they say the girls that work together tend to get on their cycle and appear at the same time. Well, I guess we get constipated at the same time. I don't know what it is. Could be the food we eat.
And sometimes you just need a good stool softener.
So sometimes I went with DC's wife Anna to the Eckerd's drugstore to find a good stool softener. And that was an interesting experience because I had, honest to God, never shopped for one before.
Really?
No. And I have a question. We bought one that, it wasn't worth a crap.
Oh, good.
No, it really was the worst stool softener. I took 3 of them.
They said take 2 in the morning, and you will go, but it's not like an X-Lax where there's no warning. It gives you a little warning, and it's supposed to be a control.
A light will go off. You are 30 seconds away.
And we went, and here's my question about any drug, but in particular this laxative. And I don't even remember the name of it. Do you, DC?
It was actually Eckerd's brand.
Okay, because that's what I was getting at. The pharmacist came over, and we were asking questions about laxatives and stool softeners, and I never thought when I woke up this morning we'd be discussing this today, but and there was one brand that was $35 for a little bitty bottle of these little bitty laxative pills. And then sitting right beside it, it said Eckerd's brand, and it was like $5.
Yeah.
And the pharmacist said it's just as good.
Yep.
We bought, obviously, the $5 one. I got me a bottle, and Anna got DC a bottle. We were going to have a big weekend. And we monitored each other's lack of progress. Apparently, DC needed it a lot worse than I did. But it had no impact on me whatsoever.
Didn't do much for me either.
I'm just wondering if those drugstore brands are as good as the more expensive brands.
Well, that's the whole debate right now. That's the whole crux of this fight over prescription drugs.
How can the drugstore sell something for $5 that the other brand is, other company sells for $35?
But that's what this whole thing's about with prescription drugs. You got generic makers that make the same identical drug and sell it for half or even less than that.
Then maybe the $35 version wasn't any good either.
Right.
Because the $5 version we know wasn't any good.
Yeah.
But crap apparently is big business. You can get $35 for a little bottle of laxative.
But to take a crap, come on.
Oftentimes, the generic, cheaper thing will work just as well as plopping down that...
not with the laxatives.
Not with the laxatives?
And then, Christy, DC ended up... He was so desperate. He was so backed up. You know what he ended up doing?
What, prune juice?
No, worse than that.
Suppository.
Well, not that bad.
No.
He sent Anna back to the drugstore
Exit only.
to buy a bottle of mineral oil.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
That did it.
Most people think, you'd rather be shot in the head than have to drink that stuff.
It's actually good.
I went over to their room, and half a bottle was gone. It'd only been like 30 minutes. And I said, that stuff must be horrible. It's like castor oil. It's horrible. He goes, no, I kind of like it.
It's not that bad. You know what it tastes like?
He was drinking it, shooting it straight out of the bottle.
Have you? To me, it tasted like, have you ever had the white Caro syrup? Caro syrup?
I don't drink it.
Cook with?
I've had it, but I don't drink it.
Corn syrup?
You were drinking it.
Well,
you had a straw in that bottle. Sucking it up.
And if you've ever had Caro syrup, it's not awful tasting, so it would be like having, they told me it's medicine, it's this mineral oil stuff, and you got to take 3 tablespoons, it tastes horrible. And I thought, this tastes just like syrup, it's not that bad.
To make a long story short, it did its job, and in fact, for the rest of the weekend, a nickname for DC was Goose.
Well, mineral oil is an intestinal lubricant.
Is that right?
Yeah. Goes right in there, makes things nice and slick.
I was a little worried, though, because DC took, several shots of that. Then we went to Nashville, went down to the water park, and got on the slip and slide.
Oh, goodness. Well, what about you, Steve?
What about me?
Did you ever go?
I still haven't gone.
Oh, my goodness.
It's been 6 days.
Oh, my God.
And he still hasn't gone.
He looks a little backed up.
Still haven't gone?
Yeah.
But can I
I'm not taking mineral oil.
That can hurt you, and you don't want to end up like Elvis Presley.
No.
and John Wayne. Both of them, you know, they looked in their colons.
Our friend Dr. Duty
there
on
you
the
go.
phone when the
Get
show's
the
over.
colon cleanse.
Yeah,
Man.
like
Just blow it right on out.
Right to our
85
website.
pounds of impacted
Go
stuff.
right to our website and click on Dr. Duty is what I'm going to do, and then get me some colon cleanse, because that worked for me before.
Oh, yeah, that's some good stuff.
That's what I need. And it's a lot cheaper than that stupid stuff in the drugstore.
You need to go before tonight, Steve.
Before the Cher concert?
Yeah, because what happens all of a sudden the Cher concert and you're in the bathroom the whole time?
Yeah, that would be awful. She comes out and hits the first note of Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves, and I have to leave. I'm just going to wear a diaper, because I will not miss this concert tonight.
Let's grab Denise real fast here. Hey, good morning, Denise.
Good morning. Apparently, Cairo syrup works just as well.
Well,
See there?
there you go. I should have been drinking
A lot cheaper, probably, too, isn't it?
My child's pediatrician, when he was an infant, he couldn't take the Similac infant formula.
Yes.
So he said put a tablespoon of Cairo syrup in his Similac and he'll go to the bathroom. Of course, it didn't work. Turned out he had to take soy milk, but it would make him go to the bathroom.
So some doctors recommend just using the Cairo syrup. Well, I don't know. Maybe there's some kind of connection. It all works. Coffee, they say, is good.
No, I drink a gallon a morning and haven't had a movement in 6 days.
Well, I say coffee. They say any caffeine is a stimulant, you know, for your bowels.
So tell me, what did you guys eat? Because certain foods will clog you up. So
Well, yeah,
both of you guys
The
being
last
clogged
thing
at the
I
same
had
time.
before I became extremely backed up was... I don't even know if I should give the name of the store that I bought it.
Sure, be honest, it doesn't matter.
I went into Starbucks, and I got something they
You get a frothy latte?
I got a cup of coffee, and this they
Should
sell
have gotten a Crappuccino.
Oh, good Lord.
they sell this candy bar, and they sell it under 2 different names. Some Starbucks call it a fantasy bar. Some of them call it a butter toffee bar, something like that.
Oh, that's good.
But it's the same thing. Same thing,
Is that
just
what
different
did it,
names.
you think?
And I ate that, and from that moment on, I was not feeling well and was kind of impacted the rest of the day.
And I hadn't eaten anything out of the ordinary. I've been trying to eat good, and I've been eating fish. I mean, just a lot of fish. I eat fish about 4 days a week now, and when I'm not eating fish, I'm eating turkey and chicken. Nothing out of the ordinary.
You guys hear something weird?
Yes, what is that?
Like a marching band is about to come in.
Hey, Jimmy, the parade wasn't supposed to start next hour.
What in the world?
Oh, the band's here early.
What's about to happen? Somebody's
screwed
tuning up.
Yeah. Premature parade. So I haven't had any luck yet, and I would be very thankful if anybody listening has any laxative home remedies. I'm willing to try about anything as long as it's not mineral oil. I just can't stomach that stuff.
Oh, you haven't tried it, though. Until you try it, you don't know. 1-800-9-WAKE-UP is our little telephone number
Or you
here.
can email us if you want to, if you have some ideas about laxatives. And the other thing I have to tell you real quick is on this trip to Nashville, DC's kids went along, and I love the kids. And his son, Jacob, Anna was telling me, had an interesting experience with his dad, DC. Jacob is 10 and asked DC one of those questions. We're talking about, we were making comments at dinner one night and said something, and we were trying to talk code talk, adult to adult. I was talking to DC's wife, Anna, so Jacob, who was sitting there, wouldn't necessarily get it. It was something a 10-year-old didn't necessarily need to hear, and he looks and says, I know a lot more than y'all think I know. and then it started the conversation. Anna said yes. The other day he walked into DC and said, Daddy, what's a tampon? And that's why one of the reasons I'm not a parent, because I wouldn't necessarily know how to deal with that. Now, Anna, is it true what she told me you said to him?
Oh, boy.
I can't remember. What did I say?
I wanted to hear what you said.
Go ask your mother.
I remember.
Anna swore to me that Jacob went to D.C. and said, what's a tampon? Because he heard it on TV or something. And that D.C. said, that's what you use to build a house.
What?
But she said that was good enough for him, and he turned around and said, okay, walked off and was done. Didn't need to know.
Yeah, but now he's going to try to build his house. He's going to say, I need 50,000.
He's got a great fort out back, but Anna's missing tampons. Of course, if it rains, it'll just soak the water right. Great insulation.
Great insulation. The heating and cooling bills are going to be just
fantastic.
Great. That's bad.
All kids, for some reason, at some point, want to know about tampons. I don't know what it is, but we could take calls for 6 hours on that. Yeah. All kids discover that at some point.
Sometimes we over-explain when they don't really need to know or want to know.
Yeah.
Like, remember that old story about the little kid probably a little Southern kid, that went in and asked his mommy, what's sex? And mommy said, little Southern kid, mommy said, oh, God, go ask your daddy, son. And the little son goes to daddy and says, Daddy, what's sex? And daddy says, explains the birds and the bees and the whole 9 yards. And the little kid said, but what? Mommy said we're going to eat at 6. What's 6?
He was confusing that he was a little Southern child.
South we say 6.
6 with sex.
Daddy, what's 6?
6. There was some confusion there with the little Southern child. And
what's all that about birds and bees? Daddy, Mama said we're going to eat at 6.
See, there was some confusion.
See, sometimes they don't really want to know.
Right.
Well, that's true.
I tell that story to illustrate that point.
Yeah,
very well,
very well.
Are we having a good show?
Yeah.
Are we?
Christy,
are we having margin?
Yeah,
we were at about 6.
Are we having a good 6?
Kind of went downhill from there.
Hope y'all didn't miss the 6 o'clock hour.
All right, listen, are we gonna, what are you reading? Well, are you reading it like it's very important? What are you reading?
I didn't know this. The Muppets are introducing an HIV positive Muppet.
Yeah, on Sesame Street.
I'm stunned. I'm reading this and I can't believe my eyes.
You were obviously very wrapped up in it. I look over and
it says Sesame Street will introduce an HIV positive Muppet.
Well, so
I'm not
what?
sure how I feel about it. How do you explain to a 3-year-old about HIV positive?
That's a stupid thing.
But wait, I read on in South Africa.
You're right.
Because they have such a high incidence.
Exactly.
Okay. But it says eventually they might add the character to other countries.
And what would be wrong with that?
It's
a 3-year-old watches that. How do you explain it?
They don't even know what tampons are at 10, much less HIV
How will
at 3.
they introduce the character to a 3-year-old? I mean, Sophie, she's 4.
I know, Sophie. If I tried to explain, there's no way I could explain to my 3-year-old what HIV even is. I mean, she would think I'm trying to do code for spelling something else.
DC told Jacob to use tampons to build a house. How would you explain HIV to a 4-year-old?
There's no way that I could. I would love to see somebody try to explain to my 3-year-old what HIV is.
A satellite, point it towards South Africa, and tune in Sesame Street, because they're going to do it.
All right, we're going to grab some phone calds, do a little sharing, do a little telling. There's so much to talk about over, from vacation.
I'm excited. Coming up, share and tell.
1-800.
I get it.
He's on a roll. He had the 6 and the sex thing. Have you seen that 6 in the City show?
Yeah. Vacation will do for you.
1-800-9-WAKE-UP is the phone number to share anything that you would like to.
Or your laxative suggestions. We'll kind of interweave all of that into one astounding segment.
Steve and DC Show.